Imagine this. You've got goals, big one. Maybe it's building a business. Maybe it's leveling up your fitness. Maybe it's just breaking free from the cycle of procrastination that keeps you stuck. But then, something happened. Your brain betrays you. You sit down to focus, and suddenly you're scrolling TikTok. You want to eat clean, but your hand magically finds the chips. You promise yourself you'll wake up early, but the snooze button wins every battle. And here's the wild part. It's not your fault. Your brain, the very thing you rely on to make decisions, take action, and create your future, is also the thing sabotaging you. Why? Because no one ever taught you how to use it. Think about it. School taught you how to solve equations, memorize dates, write essays. But it never taught you how to fight procrastination, control your focus, or master your emotions. It never gave you the user manual for your own brain. And that's why most people are stuck. They're walking around with the most powerful machine on earth, the human mind, but they're running it on factory settings. But you're about to learn the upgrades. Because today I'm going to reveal the psychological hacks that schools never mention, but that can completely change how you think, act, and succeed. These aren't random tips. They're brain-based shortcuts backed by psychology and neuroscience tools that can help you outsmart your worst habits and finally take control of your mind. If you apply these, you won't just beat procrastination. You won't just stop overthinking. You'll unlock a version of yourself most people never get to see. So let's dive in. Hack Hash 1. Outsmart procrastination with a 2-minute trick. We've all been there. You have a task, and instead of doing it, you avoid it. You check your phone, you grab a snack. You convince yourself you'll start later. But here's the truth. Procrastination isn't laziness. It's your brain trying to avoid discomfort. Psychologists call this task avoidance when your brain links a task to pain, fear, or boredom. It pushes you to escape. Here's the hack. Shrink the task until your brain has no reason to resist. Tell yourself, I'll just do this for 2 minutes. 2 minutes of writing, 2 minutes of cleaning, 2 minutes of study. What happens? Once you start, momentum kicks in. You trick your brain into bypassing resistance and entering flow. Think of it like starting a car on a cold morning. The hardest part is turning the key. But once the engine's running, you can go anywhere. The 2-minute trick outscores procrastination every time. Because instead of fighting your brain head on, you're sneaking past its defenses. Hack Hash 2. Outsmart distractions with the one screen. Let's be honest. Most people don't fail because they're not smart enough. They fail because they're too distracted. Notifications, social media, endless tabs. Your brain wasn't designed to juggle. Research shows every time you switch tasks, your brain wastes up to 23 minutes refocusing. Imagine how much time you're losing every single day. Here's the hack. The one screen. One task, one screen, one focus. If you're studying, no phone nearby. If you're working, no second screen running YouTube in the background. When your brain knows there's only one option in front of it, something amazing happens. It adapts, distractions vanish. Focus sharpens. It's like training a wild horse. At first it resists, but with consistency, it learns discipline. One screen, one task, one sharp brain. Hack Hash 3. Outsmart overthinking with the parking lot method. Ever tried to focus, but your brain keeps throwing random thoughts at you? What if I fail? Did I text them back? Don't forget the laundry. This is overthinking your brain's attempt to keep everything active so you don't forget. But instead of helping, it paralyzes you. Here's the hack. The parking lot method. Keep a notebook or note app open. Every time a thought pops up, park it by writing it down. That's fine. Psychologists call this an offloading strategy. When your brain knows the thought is stored somewhere safe, it relaxes. The mental load disappears. Suddenly, your mind feels lighter. You've cleared mental space to actually focus on what matters. You're not fighting your brain, you're giving it reassurance. And that tiny shift can save you hours of wasted mental energy. Hack Hash 4. Outsmart laziness with the environment switch. Laziness isn't about who you are. It's about where you are. Picture this. You're lying on your bed with your laptop. Are you really going to write that essay, or are you going to slide into Netflix? Your environment triggers your behavior. That's why you eat in the kitchen, sleep in the bedroom, and watch TV in the living room. Here's the hack. Change your environment to change your actions. Need to study? Sit at a desk with nothing but your notes. Need to work out? Put on gym clothes and step outside. Need to brainstorm? Grab a notebook and walk to a coffee shop. Your brain links locations with habits. When you switch environments, you break old patterns and create new ones. You don't need more willpower. You need better cues. Hack Hash 5. Outsmart stress with the name it to tame it. Trick. Stress destroys focus. It hijacks your nervous system, floods you with cortisol, and makes even simple tasks feel impossible. But here's something powerful. Labeling your emotions reduces their power. Psychologists call this affect labeling. When you feel anxious, simply saying, "This is anxiety, this is stress, this is fear," calms the amygdala, the fear center of your brain. Why? Because once you label the feeling, your brain moves it from the emotional center to the rational center. You've taken the chaos and put it into words. Suddenly, it's not an overwhelming storm, it's just anxiety. And now, you can handle it. Hack hash 6. Outsmart forgetfulness with the hook method. You read something, you learn something, and then 2 days later, it's gone. Huzzah. That's because your brain doesn't store information randomly. It stores it through connections. Here's the hack. Always hook new information to something you already know. If you meet someone named Rose, imagine them holding a rose. If you learn a new fact, connect it to a story, a joke, or a visual image. This is how memory champions remember decks of cards, not by brute force, but by making connections. Your brain is like Velcro. The more hooks, the more it sticks. Hack hash 7. Outsmart negative self-talk with the third person shift. We all have that inner voice that says, "You're not good enough, you're going to fail. Why even try?" But here's the truth. That voice isn't you. It's just old programming. Here's the hack. Talk to yourself in third person. Instead of, "I can't do this," let's say, "You've got this. You've handled this. Keep going." Psychologists call this distance self-talk. It creates space between you and the negative voice, allowing you to see it objectively. It's the same reason coaches don't say, "I can do this." They say, "You can do this," because hearing it from the outside hits differently. So next time self-doubt shows up, flip the script. Outsmart that voice by turning it into a coach, not a critic. Hack hash 8. Outsmart average thinking with the opposite daily. Most people live on autopilot. They follow the crowd. They take the safe option. But here's the problem. If you think like everyone else, you'll live like everyone else. Here's the hack. When faced with a decision, ask yourself, what would the average person do? Then consider doing the opposite. Most people waste hours scrolling, log off and build something. Most people hit snooze, wake up and get ahead. Most people spend money to impress, save and invest. The opposite path feels uncomfortable, but that's the point. Growth never hides where comfort lives. This doesn't mean blindly rebel against everything. It means train your brain to question default choices. That habit alone can outsmart mediocrity and put you on the 1% path. Climax. Your brain can be your prison or your superpower. Here's the truth. Your brain will either be your greatest weapon or your biggest weakness. Left on factory settings, it will trap you in procrastination, distraction, overthinking, and fear. But upgraded with the right hacks, it can make you unstoppable. You don't need more motivation. You don't need to try harder. You need to outsmart the very system that's been holding you back. Every time you use one of these hacks, you're rewiring your brain. Every time you take action, you're breaking free from average. Every time you outsmart your mind, you step closer to the life most people will never taste. Call to action. So here's your challenge. Don't just listen. Apply one of these hacks today. Outsmart your procrastination. Outsmart your distractions. Outsmart the part of your brain that wants to keep you safe and small. Because the truth is, nobody's coming to rescue you. Nobody's going to reprogram your brain for you. It's on you. And the moment you take control, everything changes. If this video helped you see your brain differently, share it with someone who needs it. And if you're serious about becoming unstoppable, make sure you subscribe because I've got more strategies coming that school never dared to teach you. Your brain is powerful, but only if you take the wheel. So don't just live on autopilot. Outsmart.
Meet Alex and Tyler. Imagine this. Alex and Tyler are students at the same university. Alex studies for just 40 minutes a day. He sleeps well, plays basketball with his friends, and still ranks at the top of his class. His secret? He quizzes himself with practice questions and explains concepts to his classmates in super simple ways. Tyler, on the other hand, studies for 6 hours daily, stays up all night, fueled by energy drinks, and barely sees his friends. Yet, he struggles to get C's. His notes are beautiful, and his study schedule is color-coded to perfection. So, what's the difference? It's not intelligence, hard work, or luck. It's how they study. If you're ready to stop wasting time and start studying like Alex, stay with me. This video will show you how to study smart. And if you're excited to transform your study game, join our community by subscribing. I've got tons of powerful tips waiting for you. Challenge your memory. Wait, before we go further, I've got a quick challenge for you. Think about the last time you studied for an exam. How many minutes of that study session actually felt effective? Be honest and drop the number in the comments. By the end of this video, we'll find out if you're really using your time wisely or if it's time to flip the script. How many times have you spent hours organizing your notes or rereading the same page, only to realize you barely remember anything afterward? I call this the illusion of hard work. The secret isn't in how many hours you study, it's in how much actually sticks in your brain after you close the book. Think of your brain like a phone with a bad battery. No matter how many times you charge it by rereading or cramming, it just won't hold the charge. After hours of studying, you check, still at 10%. Research shows that passive studying, like rereading notes, leaves you with less than 15% of the info after a few days. The fix? Repair the battery with active techniques that lock the knowledge in, like a fast, efficient charger. One sec, my coffee's calling me. You should grab your favorite drink. Let's keep going. The retention ladder. Picture a ladder that represents levels of learning. Each step shows how much you'll actually remember. Bottom step, reading or listening, 10 to 20% retention, like reading a book or watching a lecture. Middle step, discussion or interactive watching, 30 to 50%, like debating an idea with a friend. Top step, applying and teaching, 70 to 90%, like solving problems or explaining a concept to someone else. To reach the top, you need active techniques. Here are 3 science-backed methods to study smarter.
Method 1. Active recall. Don't start by reviewing your notes. Test yourself first. Close the book and try to write down everything you remember about the topic. The harder it feels, the more your memory grows. It's like weightlifting for your brain. Studies show active recall can boost grades by up to 40% for students who use it. Method 2. Spaced repetition. Your brain forgets fast if you don't review, but you don't have to review everything daily. Use spaced repetition. Review information at specific intervals to strengthen memory. Example: Day 1. Learn something new. Day 2. Quick review, 5 minutes. Day 5. Test yourself without notes. This works against the forgetting curve and can raise retention to 80%. Tyler could have saved hours if he used this instead of cramming. Method 3. The associative learning technique. Connecting information to your social media experience. Make the information part of your personal story so you can always remember it. For example, if you are studying the mere exposure effect in psychology, which means you tend to like something more the more you see it. Think about an ad or a story you saw on Instagram. Did you notice how you started thinking about buying a pair of sneakers after seeing them in your friends' stories many times? That's the effect. This technique makes the information like a story your brain cannot ignore. When you connect information to your personal experience, it stays engraved in your memory. Here's the real secret. Studying smarter can get you better grades in less time. Sounds strange, but it's true. When I use these methods, I cut my study time from 6 hours to under 2, and went from a C to an A. Back to your challenge. Look at the number you wrote in the comments earlier. Was your study time actually productive? If you're relying on passive reading or cramming, it's time to change. Drop a comment. Which of these methods was your favorite? Thanks for watching. If this video inspired you to upgrade your study game, hit like and subscribe to join our journey to smarter learning. Share your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. Now, go master your studies.
Have you ever felt like 90% of what you read just evaporates from your mind within 24 hours? Frustrating, right? Now imagine having a super memory, one that lets you remember every lesson or book with ease. In this video, I'm going to show you 5 powerful science-backed hacks that will turn your brain into an unforgettable vault. And the best part? At the end, I'll give you the secret code that can unlock any piece of information in seconds, even months later. Ready? Let's dive in. Hack 1. Active reading. Reading isn't just scanning words, it's a mental adventure. With active reading, you become a detective, searching for hidden gems in the text. Understand the content, then ask yourself, what's the main idea? Or, how does this connect to what I already know? Use a highlighter to mark one key sentence per paragraph. This wakes up your brain and helps the info stick like a buried treasure map. Quick application. If you're reading about the Industrial Revolution, ask, what made it a revolution? Then highlight something like production shifted from manual labor to machines. That laser focus keeps your brain sharp and distraction-free. Now that your brain is activated, let's make things visual and fun. Hack 2, visual mapping, mind maps. Imagine drawing a roadmap for your brain. That's what a mind map is. Start with a blank page, draw a central circle for your main topic, then branch out ideas using different colors. This triggers dual encoding. Your brain stores info both visually and mentally, making it easier to retrieve later. Give it a shot. For a history lesson, draw a circle labeled World War II, then add branches like 1939, Axis in red, and Allies in blue. Suddenly, your memory isn't flat text, it's a vivid, living network. Now that we've organized the knowledge, let's boost it with the power of sound. Hack 3, active audio recording. Close the book, it's time for a voice adventure. Hit record and start explaining the lesson out loud, once using your mind map and once without. This is called active recall, and it strengthens memory pathways as your brain works harder to retrieve the info. Listen back later and you'll be amazed how much sticks. Try this out. After mapping the Industrial Revolution, record yourself saying, "It began with the shift to machines around 1760. Repeat a couple of times and your voice will turn the lesson into a lasting memory. After boosting recall, let's see how to make that memory stick long term. Hack 4. Spaced repetition. Think of memory like building a house. You don't do it all at once. Spaced repetition means reviewing information at increasing intervals to lock it into long-term memory instead of cramming. Simple example. If you study a chemistry lesson today, review it tomorrow for 10 minutes, then 5 minutes 2 days later, and again a week later. Imagine molecules dancing, and your brain will remember them as a story, not just facts. Now that you've mastered the foundations, let's unlock the ultimate trick. Hack 5, the secret code. Here it is, the secret code I promised you. After using the previous hacks, create a final memory sheet, a single-page summary of the entire lesson without going back to the book. Add key points or a mini mind map. Keep it with you. Whenever you need a refresh, glance at it. Or better yet, listen to your recording. You'll recall everything in a flash, even months later. Simple example, for the Industrial Revolution, write 1760, machines, factories, on a small card. Look at it daily for 1 minute and listen to your voice recording when needed. That's how you turn facts into unshakable memory. And if you want to boost your memory even more, teach what you've learned to a friend to fill in any gaps in your understanding. And don't forget to share this video with them so they can benefit too. Now you've got 5 memory hacks and the secret code to remember everything you read. Try one today and let me know in the comments which one you'll start with. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and take that small step today. It could lead to big results tomorrow. Goodbye, learning friends. Stay curious and productive.
You sit down to study, and suddenly your phone is the most interesting thing on the planet. Just one more video. Maybe I need a snack first. Do I really need this degree, or should I just become a llama farmer? Sound familiar? Here's a shocking fact. 90% of students study wrong. They waste hours staring at notes without actually learning anything. But what if I told you there's a way to study faster, retain more, and still have time to binge your favorite show? Whether you're a student cramming for exams, a professional learning a new skill, or just someone who wants to absorb information faster, these hacks will work for you. Let's break down the best brain hacks to study at lightning speed, without burning out. The expectation hack. Trick your brain into studying faster. Your brain is lazy. It will take as much time as you give it. Ever noticed how a 10-minute task somehow takes 2 hours when you're procrastinating? That's because of Parkinson's law. Work expands to fill the time you allow for it. The fix. Set ridiculously short study sprints. Instead of thinking, I have to study for 3 hours, tell yourself, I'll study for just 20 minutes. Boom! Your brain stops resisting because 20 minutes sounds easy. But here's the trick. Once you start, you'll keep going. Bonus hack. Write down exactly what you'll study in that time. I'll study biology. I'll learn photosynthesis and quiz myself on it. Your brain loves clarity. The 80-20 rule: stop studying like a perfectionist. Not all topics are created equal. Some are way more important than others. The 80-20 rule: 20% of what you study gives you 80% of your results. So stop wasting time on random details. Instead, ask yourself, what will actually be on the test? Check past papers, ask your teacher, look at summaries. What don't I understand yet? If you already know it, move on. Quick 80-20 strategy. Do a past exam paper first. Don't wait until the last minute. Find the 20% of topics that appear the most. Focus 80% of your time on those. Work smarter, not harder. The timer method. Activate speed mode for studying. Ever noticed how you suddenly become hyper-focused when you have a deadline? That's because urgency creates focus, and you can trick your brain into this mode on demand. Try this. The 30-minute study sprint 1. Set a 30-minute timer. Study like it's an emergency. 2. Take a 5-minute break. Move around, stretch, or scroll your phone guilt-free. 3. Repeat. Why does this work? Short sessions prevent burnout. Your brain knows a break is coming, so it focuses better. You avoid the fake studying trap of just staring at notes. Bonus hack. Use the Forest app. You plant a virtual tree, and if you leave the app, your tree dies. Guilt is a powerful motivator. The Feynman technique. Study like a genius. Albert Einstein once said, "If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough." Translation: if you want to learn something fast, teach it to someone else. How to use the Feynman technique. 1. Pick a concept, e.g., how do black holes work? 2. Pretend you're teaching it to a 5-year-old. No fancy jargon, keep it simple. 3. Find the gaps in your understanding. If you get stuck, go back and relearn. 4. Simplify it even more. The result? You won't just memorize it, you'll actually understand it. Bonus hack: explain things out loud or write them down. This forces your brain to process the information deeply. Active recall, the memory cheat code. Want to remember things 2 times faster? Stop passively reading. Start testing yourself. How to use active recall. Instead of rereading notes, close the book and try to recall key points. Instead of copying notes, write them from memory. Use flashcards, but don't just read them. Test yourself. This method is scientifically proven to burn information into your brain. Bonus hack: the blurting technique. Read a chapter, then write down everything you remember without looking. Then check what you missed. Instant memory boost. Sleep plus exercise equals free brain upgrades. Fun fact: your brain doesn't store what you study while you're awake. It stores information while you sleep. Which means, pulling all-nighters? Bad idea. Getting a solid 7 to 8 hours? Your brain will thank you. Also, exercise boosts memory. Even a 10-minute walk can help you retain more information. So, if you're cramming, take study breaks with movement. Final takeaway: your study cheat sheet. Here's your 6-step formula to study fast and smart. Set short study sprints, 20 to 30 minutes. Use the 80-20 rule. Focus on what actually matters. Use timers to stay focused. Teach it to someone. Feynman technique. Use active recall. Test yourself. Sleep plus exercise equals free brain upgrades. Your challenge. Pick one of these hacks and try it today. Comment below which one worked best for you. I read every single comment. And if you're ready to unlock your brain's full potential, hit that subscribe button and let's make studying feel illegal together. Remember, knowledge isn't power. Applied knowledge is. So go out there, study smart, and make your brain work for you. Until next time, study smart, not hard. Ever been knee-deep in a project, feeling like you're on a roll, and then, bam, you hit a mental wall? 1 minute, you're making progress, and the next, you're thinking, why am I even doing this? Whether it's finishing that overdue report or trying to figure out how to solve all the world's problems, no pressure. We've all felt stuck at some point. So what's going on here? Psychologists call it the stuck-in-the-middle effect, and it's exactly what it sounds like. In the beginning, everything's fresh and exciting. Maybe even a little too easy, like when you start running and that first mile feels like you're winning a marathon. But as time goes on, the novelty fades, and you start seeing your goal as this massive, far-off thing. Instead of feeling proud of what you've achieved, you become obsessed with how much you still have to do. Cue the frustration. But here's the trick. You don't have to eat the whole pizza in one bite. If your goal feels overwhelming, break it down into smaller, manageable pieces. The difference is huge. Every time you check something off your list, you get a little dopamine hit, which fuels you to keep going. You're essentially giving yourself permission to win repeatedly, and who doesn't want that? Let's take a bigger issue like tackling climate change or fighting social inequality. These problems are like a giant, unmovable boulder. It's easy to feel small and powerless when the world's problems are so big. And it's true, no single person can solve them all. But, and this is important, each small action does matter. When you and thousands of others keep going, that collective momentum creates real change. In fact, research shows that while a lot of people care deeply about climate change, only about a third take consistent action. So why do some people stay engaged? It all boils down to one simple thing: belief. They believe that their actions, whether it's recycling, voting for eco-friendly policies, or even educating others, make a difference. And guess what? They're right. Small actions can snowball into bigger ones, and history proves that change often starts with just a few motivated individuals who refuse to give up. Now, before you think this is all about passion and heart, let's talk about anger. Yeah, you heard that right. Sometimes rage can actually fuel progress. Think back to the civil rights movement in the US, for example. People were outraged by systemic racism and injustice, and that collective anger helped create the drive for change. Moral outrage, when used correctly, can be a superpower. It helps us focus on what's at stake and push for a solution. Just remember, you're angry about the problem, not about being stuck. And let's not forget about collaboration. Feeling stuck can feel a lot less lonely when you've got people who are in the trenches with you. When you find a community of like-minded folks, your motivation skyrockets. Sometimes just seeing other people take action can give you the boost you need to keep going. Plus, collaboration brings in fresh perspectives, which is a lifesaver when you're staring at a problem and wondering what your next move is. You'd be surprised how much just doing something, anything, can help you get unstuck. Maybe it's writing that first sentence of your paper, going for a quick jog, or signing that petition you've been meaning to get to. The point is, no action is too small. It's like the domino effect. One little action knocks over the next, and suddenly you're back on track. And here's the kicker. When you're tackling these big goals, celebrate the small wins. Every sub-goal you crush, every little action you take deserves a high five. Whether it's writing 100 words or running an extra mile, acknowledging those small victories gives you the confidence to keep pushing forward. The best part? These small wins lead to bigger victories. Trust me, the feeling of momentum is addictive. You start seeing progress, and before you know it, that giant, overwhelming goal doesn't seem so impossible after all. So, next time you feel stuck, here's what you do. Break it down. Make your goal bite-sized and manageable. Take action, any action. No step is too small to count. Find your people. Get a support group to keep you motivated. Celebrate the small wins. Every little step is progress. Keep the bigger picture in mind. Change takes time, but it happens. Remember, you don't have to do everything at once. Small steps add up to big change. The road to any goal might be long, but every action you take, no matter how tiny, is a step closer to the finish line. So get moving, even if it's just one baby step at a time. So what's one baby step you can take today? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear about it. And if you found these tips helpful, give this video a thumbs up. Share it with someone who's feeling stuck, and don't forget to subscribe for more motivation every week. Remember, you don't have to do everything at once. Small steps add up to big change. You've got this. What if I told you there's a way to learn 10 times faster, without textbooks, without flashcards, and without even trying? The CIA used these exact methods to train their spies, and today, I'm handing them over to you. Forget boring study routines. These spies could master new languages in weeks and memorize entire files in minutes. And guess what? You don't need a secret handler or a black budget to hack your brain the same way. Welcome to Easy Mode. Step 1. Sleep learning. Yes, really. Imagine this. You're sleeping and your brain is secretly downloading knowledge like an automatic update. That's exactly how the Soviets trained their spies to learn languages in record time. They used hypno-learning by syncing agents' brains to theta waves. That sweet, hazy zone between awake and asleep, where your brain absorbs everything without even trying. Your version. Before bed, hit up theta wave tracks, 4 Hertz on YouTube. Play them while you review Spanish verbs, math formulas, or even history facts. Bonus hack, snap your fingers mid-session. Make it your focus trigger. Next time you're scrolling Instagram, snap and bam. Your brain snaps back to study mode, and it's like a cheat code for concentration. Step 2. Neuropriming, learning in chaos. CIA agents aren't trained in libraries, they're trained in war zones. Gunfire, sirens, chaos. And here's the kicker. They learn better under pressure. Your brain doesn't need silence to learn. It needs to train in chaos to get better at ignoring distractions. Your hack. Set up cafe noise or play background sounds, coffee shop street noise, and add an alarm every 7 minutes. Start quiet, then increase the chaos every few days. Why? Because your brain gets better at tuning out distractions. Soon, you'll be studying while the world is burning around you, or at least while your roommate's blasting music. If you're loving these hacks so far, hit that like button and let me know in the comments which one you're most excited to try. And don't forget to subscribe.